The Salesforce ecosystem has exploded in recent years, as Salesforce has multiplied their revenue by 10x over the past decade, from $3 billion a year to over $33 billion. This has created a huge demand for skilled professionals within the Salesforce ecosystem, but has also created demand for new professionals to enter the world of Salesforce and land many of the jobs on offer. Tech jobs are often glamorized across the internet, and this is for fairly good reason. They are often very well paid, fairly cushy compared to some other hard labor jobs, and also have insane career growth. But does this mean you should drop whatever your current career is and put all your eggs into one basket? Definitely not. Whilst tech jobs are great for many, they might not be right for you. So let's take an honest look at the Salesforce ecosystem and whether a career in tech is right for you by looking at the good, the bad, and the ugly. First off, let's start with the good. And there are 5 main fantastic reasons that I would encourage anyone to consider when thinking about landing a tech role. These are money, flexible working, demand, community, and problem solving. Let's take a closer look. Of course, first up, we have money. This is probably the first perk that many associate with tech jobs, and the rumors are true. The Salesforce admin role is one of the most common in the Salesforce world, and average salaries in the US start at around $100,000 after 3 years of experience. This can also climb exponentially depending on where you focus your efforts. Next up, flexible working. This has become synonymous with tech jobs after the pandemic, with the vast majority of tech firms still implementing remote work, or at least flexible working that doesn't have a set 9 to 5 hours. Although there has been increased pressure to bring employees back to the office for productivity reasons in recent months, at least for a couple of days a week. As the technology industry continues to grow and dominate the most valuable companies in the stock market, so does the demand for skilled professionals who can operate and run Salesforce implementations. Demand for different niches within Salesforce will ebb and flow depending on demand for a given skill set of product. But overall, Salesforce skills are very in demand. Something unique to Salesforce is the community built around its products. This community exists online via the Trailblazer communities, Slack communities, and physical events such as user groups or larger Salesforce events. This means that whenever you run into a problem with the platform, you don't have to look far in order to find help. And finally, problem solving. It's no secret that people are happiest in their roles when they are being challenged and they can be creative. And although you might not necessarily associate creativity with tech roles, Salesforce is a very problem-solving focused industry. You'll be challenged with business requirements that must be solved with technology solutions. This makes work constantly interesting as you are challenged to find better solutions to an ever-present degree of challenges. Okay, we have the good out of the way, and there are a lot of reasons to be excited by a role in technology, but it's not all rainbows and unicorns. Of course, with any type of job, there are going to be some negatives. I would sum up these in 3 categories: a constantly evolving industry, project stress, and demand from the business. With any tech job, market movements happen at the speed of light. The average person on the street wasn't paying attention to AI 3 years ago, and now we're being told that if we don't reskill in AI, we'll be replaced by someone who does know AI. Although some might find this exhilarating, if you don't like the idea of constantly learning new things, then tech might not be for you. Next up, and again, with most tech jobs, you'll be involved in many projects involving Salesforce, implementing new products and features to transform the way businesses work. And if you've ever worked on a project before, you'll know they very rarely are completed in the allotted time, within budget, or within scope. This sometimes means a lot of stress, occasional late nights, possibly working weekends, and pressure from your manager to get work done. Of course, this doesn't happen all the time, but most Salesforce professionals will be able to relate to this feeling. Lastly, you have to remember that Salesforce is a very expensive tool that requires skilled Salesforce professionals to run it. Although you won't be playing with sulfuric acid or put in a life or death situation with Salesforce, you will be under pressure to ensure the system delivers ROI to the business. Salesforce professionals get paid a lot, and this is because they return a great deal of productivity to the business. And whilst most professionals will be supported well by their managers and teammates, you will need to remember that you hold an important role in the business and you will need to deliver on your job description. So Salesforce seems great, right? Lots of money, flexible working, where do I sign up? But with anything that seems too good to be true, at times it probably is. While Salesforce has been a fantastic career choice for many over the past 10 years with its rapid growth, Salesforce is starting to see a degree of saturation with entry-level professionals joining the ecosystem. This has been documented by our team in a corresponding blog post and video where we talk about the reasons for it, so I recommend checking it out. But in summary, this has been caused by a few factors, but primarily due to Salesforce growing at a slower rate than they previously have over the past 10 years, as well as the global economic climate. Companies are being more cautious with what they spend money on, which is slowing down sales cycles and creating less demand for entry-level professionals. In tandem to this, there are also a lot of layoffs in the tech ecosystem. This isn't exclusive to Salesforce, but across the entire technology world. This meant that many new entrants to the Salesforce ecosystem will be competing with those that have years more experience. However, for those that currently work in the technology industry in adjacent roles, such as sales or customer service operations, marketing automation, or other CRM applications, the transition may be a lot easier because of your background knowledge. It's hard to predict how the next few years will play out, but many expect this climate to improve very shortly, especially with artificial intelligence set to revolutionize the way of work across all industries. Salesforce has also placed themselves at the very heart of this revolution by announcing a whole platform of products designed to support companies as they move to artificial intelligence as a primary source of productivity. So if you love the sound of a tech job at the start of this video, then don't get disheartened. The tech ecosystems will continue to grow, even if we are currently in the midst of an economic blip. Make sure to check out many of the resources right here on the Salesforce Ben YouTube channel, as well as salesforceben.com.